The Switch 2 is imminent, and it's going to be powerful, and it's going to be robust like you are.
Skip it up and that up.
So, until recently, I have stayed away from Switch news because it kind of got really redundant after a while. It's like, hey, this Switch 2 is coming, or Focus, or Super Nintendo Switch. I actually think that kind of sounds cool, but a lot of people don't agree with me on that one. Whatever the hell they're going to call it, Nintendo is working on the successor of the Switch. Thank God. And it seems to be even more impressive than we thought. If you remember when they were talking about a Switch Pro or Switch 2, when they were going back and forth, they were saying it was going to have PS4-like performance, which at the time when those rumors were emerging, keep in mind that could have been the Switch Pro as well, it would have been adequate, but in 2023, no. There's a reason that the 8th gen consoles are no longer getting games made for them finally. But we're hearing some real interesting things about the next-gen Switch, and it's going to be impressive. Very impressive.
Pronouns!
Let's start off with some information from GizmoChina.com. Now, keep in mind, again, even though these sources are legitimate websites, it's rumors. This could be a pile of crap, and none of it could be true, so take it with a super small grain of salt. Thank you. Let's continue. According to recent reports, a few leaks about the Nintendo Switch 2 have emerged online from a leaker called I'm a Hero 2, suggesting how the Nintendo Switch 2 will perform. The post by the leaker mentions that the Nintendo Switch 2 is in development and the developers are testing the Final Fantasy VII Remake port on Switch 2. For those unaware, Final Fantasy VII Remake was initially released on PlayStation 5 and was ported on PC after a while, so that kind of shows you the capabilities of the Switch 2, if this rumor is to be believed. It doesn't mean that it's as powerful as a PS5. Probably it's nowhere near it, but with all of the technology that's out there, like deep learning super sampling and fidelity effects, which 3 is around the corner, there's going to be a lot of things they could do with less powerful hardware. And I'm sure the Switch 2 is going to be significantly more powerful than the 2017 Switch. Obvious things are obvious. So combine together the hardware upgrades with the other technologies that are out there, like fidelity effects and deep learning super sampling, and that'll help make the Switch 2 an absolute monster. Furthermore, the Nintendo Switch 2 will be backwards compatible with this part of it's interesting with a few older games. Not that it's going to be backwards compatible like you're just going to be able to put any Switch game into the new Switch, a few older games, which means that publishers have their claws into Nintendo and saying, no, we want to re-release these as remasters and remakes, so don't make it that it's completely backwards compatible. There's a lot of money to be made peddling the same damn games to people. Don't you dare make it fully backwards compatible. I'm telling you, that's what happened behind the scenes. Speculation, of course, but come on. Aside from the Final Fantasy report, the post suggests that the Nintendo Switch will launch with a new cartridge and camera feature. It has yet to be confirmed how this new camera feature will work. It'll be used on Chaturbate, so you could go watch Amaranth. Now, if you think that initial source was a pile of crap, look, take all rumors with a grain of salt. I don't blame you. But this comes from Eurogamer, where they're saying that developers got a closed-door demo at Gamescom of the next-gen Switch, and what they saw was very impressive. One demo they saw was the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild running on the souped-up specs with better frame rates and visuals. It doesn't mean that's going to be a release. It could just simply have been a tech demo. Another source told Video Games Chronicle that they were showcasing the Unreal 5 engine demo, The Matrix Awakens. That was running on the Series S and X and PlayStation 5, and they showed it running off on this next-gen Switch. That's really damn impressive. Now, it's been said they got this demo to run on the next-gen Switch using NVIDIA's deep learning super sampling technology, which is going to be probably heavily implemented along with fidelity effects on the Switch. That's how these massive AAA games are going to run on this next-gen Switch, or are going to help it run, I mean to say. And if you're wondering what fidelity effects and deep learning super sampling are, I will give you the super Cliff Notes version. It's an advanced way to upscale games. So a game could run, they could have it displayed on your screen at 1080p, and it'll look like it's 1080p mostly, but it's actually rendering it like, let's say, for example, 540p, and it's being upscaled using machine learning to 1080p. It's not just like normal upscaling, it's more advanced than that. But, I mean, there's cracks that do show, especially with fidelity effects. You can see sometimes smearing and things like that, but generally, deep learning super sampling looking better than fidelity effects. They both still do a pretty damn good job. And a lot of these handhelds that you see right now, like whether it be the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally and you name it, Aya Neo, a lot of times they get those great frame rates from fidelity effects, because if you just relied on the native hardware without the AI upscaling, some of the games would be a slideshow. So it's very impressive technology that allows lower power hardware to run AAA games smoothly. Also, on top of it too, Nintendo filed patents for upscaling technology back in 2020, so they may have their own proprietary AI upscaler, which may be used for first-party games like the next Mario game. I mean, the next-gen Mario game, I should say. And there have been a lot of industry analysts that have said that it would be perfect for Nintendo, or 2024 would be the right year for Nintendo to release the Switch, since the current-gen Switch sales are kind of like slowing down. You know, it's been on the market since 2017, and if a person was going to buy a Switch by this point, they would have. Obviously, Nintendo's still coming out with software for the current gen Switch. We have Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is coming out October 20th, but you know, people want new hardware, you know, and one of the nice things, like I always said about the Switch early on, is you got a ton of AAA third-party games, because the Tegra X1 at the time was not as powerful as the base PS4 and Xbox One, but it was just powerful enough that you could get like Doom Eternal, Doom 2016, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. You could get those on there and squeeze them onto the Switch. Now it's rough. It's rough. Even playing games like Proteus, which uses the Unity engine, it's one kind of like a boomer shooter. No, it definitely is a boomer shooter, a highly recommended one. It's not smooth on the Switch. Looks nice on the OLED screen, but that variable frame rate is rough. Anyway, I'm excited about this news. It's way more credible now. This isn't just some forum post or some random person on the internet or what seems like a fake Twitter account or X account saying these things. It's getting real.
Congratulations.
And from what we're hearing, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be even more impressive than we initially thought. This is Rich at Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.